Hello and welcome to a brand new video. I'm very excited for this video. I'm excited for this video because this video is the start of my Pokemon adventure. Yes, I am going on a Pokemon adventure. If you watched my first video of the adventures in 2026, I gave a little preview as to what I am planning to do this year in terms of, well, adventures. And one of those is obviously attending more card shows, master setting the collections that I want to master set, which are very small. For those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, basically, I am a casual collector. I am not hardcore into the scene. I do love Pokemon. I love Pokemon ever since 1990, was it 8, 7, 8? When did they come over to the English side? Around by that time. I'm a Gen 1 guy through and through. A little bit of Gen 2 here and there. But I have bought every single game since day dot. And I have played every single game since day dot. But when it comes to the cards, not as big. I've always wanted to master set the original 6 series, which I am in the process of doing. And if you see here, this is where I am currently at in terms of mastering those 6 sets. And, as a child, you don't understand the value of said cards and the need for said cards. But now I am an adult with adult money. I wanted to own the first 6 sets, and this is my journey. Well, no, this isn't my journey, but this is the casual journey that I want to do. And so I'm in the process of mastering those 6 sets. As you can see, base through to Team Rocket are doing well. Gym is not doing so well, but we're looking to do that. But those 6 sets on its own isn't really much of a Pokemon adventure. No. So what I'm also doing, I'm trying to master Destined Rivals. Obviously, Destined Rivals being a big Gen 1 set because it involves Team Rocket mainly, along with a little bit of Misty. I was very much drawn to it. So this is where I are at Destined Rivals. As you can see, it's going very well, but also not very well because I don't own Team Rocket's Mewtwo, I don't own Team Rocket's Moltres, and I don't own Cynthia's Garchomp, which are all very expensive cards. So, you know what, I thought to myself, there seems to be a big trend right now of doing this challenge. So I thought, you know what, let me do it as well. Let me bite into this challenge. It gives me something else to do besides just looking for base to gym and Destined Rivals about these card shows. Obviously, I'll still be doing those, so I really do want to master those sets. But this gives me a taste of the other generations of Pokemon. It's obviously 2 through to 9, and also it gets me a little bit more of a what's the word I'm looking for, taste of the broader card market in terms of Pokemon. So what I've done, first and foremost, what I've done is I've made a spreadsheet. Yes, I have made a spreadsheet, and this spreadsheet took a very long time to make. So I know a lot of people that do the Pokemon challenge pretty much buy any form of Pokemon card that they see to fill a gap, and then they upgrade it over time to more shinier variants of the card. I'm not doing it that way. No, I'm not. What I've decided is I've actually pre-chosen what cards I want in the binder. So what we are looking for maximum shine, maximum art, and maximum just authenticity. Yes, not authenticity, authenticity. So we want full arts. Right? We want IRs. We want a card that is literally top to bottom full of glorious artwork. We want, and if there isn't an IR or full art of that kind, we want shininess. We want a holographic rare of some kind. And then if none that's available, we go over common. And believe it or not, there's actually quite a number of Pokemon that has no shine variant whatsoever in its entire history. And that, my friends, is criminal. It's criminal that is a thing. Hopefully, now this quest that I'm going on is going to take a number of years. Obviously, I'm not going budget-wise. This is very minimal budget. base set and Destiny Rivals are, well, not base set, the original series cards and Destiny Rivals are my priority. This is a side quest that I'm hoping to document on this journey that I am doing. And I'm looking forward to it. So, budget-wise, there's a budget. There are no cards in this spreadsheet, shall we say, that are over the value of £50 according to Card Market. Yeah. But there are a number of cards, though. There are a number of cards that are near that value because I want the best art that I can possibly afford. And these are all chosen by me. So what we'll do, we're going to go over to the spreadsheet. As we can see here, the spreadsheet is here. So what I've got here, I've got Pokedex entry, obviously numbers. We got the Pokemon, we got the set, and I've got the rarity of that card. But then what I've also done is I've put date captured, the date that, I captured the Pokemon, the event I was at the time, the location, so wherever the event was, and then who I got the card from. I want, just like any Pokemon journey, just like any kind of Pokedex, it tells you when you got it, how you got it, what route you found it on. So location, this is what I want to document, and I'm very, very excited about this. So if you look here, if you look at the names here, you'll see that there are a number of names that shouldn't be here. Now, a lot of people, they just either do one card per Pokemon, which is fine. That's a Pokedex, that's how it works. And then they might do the Megas in a separate thing, or so forth. I'm not doing that. See, there are officially 1,025 Pokemon in the National Pokedex. My one is 1,292. That is because I've evolved every Mega, every Gigantamax, every Terrestrial, that, every Galarian, every Paldean, every Hisuian form. Exactly, yes. We are going for every kind of type of Pokemon there is. Yes, I have stolen the list from Bulbapedia, by the way, and I've just imported it, so that's why it's got links. And there is a lot. As you can see here, whatever is common, I haven't put a set down, because obviously there is no priority, or there's no preference as to what card is going in that spot, because a common is a common. And I have the pickings. But as you can see here, we got Vulpix, Alolan, which I want the Silver Tempest 1 V-Star, the Ninetales, who was Azure Flames, and the Alolan form, I want the Guardians Rising GX card, because that is glorious. As you can see here, commons galore here. Weeping Bell, Bellsprout, Victory Bell, Tentacruel, Geodude, Alolan, Graveler, and Graveler Alolan haven't had any form of shine. And that is terrible. How do they have no form of shine? That is diabolical. And they should have some shine. Let's just go down the list here. Let's find something. Tauros. Look at Tauros here. We got the classic Tauros. Tauros Paldean form Combat Breed. Tauros Paldean form Blaze Breed. And Tauros Paldean form Aqua Breed. Now, yes, I am taking even different forms of the same one. So even though we have Paldean Tauros, that Paldean Tauros has 3 different forms. So there we're going to have 3 different forms of that. Here we've got Gyarados. We have Gyarados, Gyarados Gigantamax, Gyarados Terrestrial, and Mega Gyarados. We have 4 forms of the same card. Because if it's a variation, I want it as a separate entry. If it is different in some way, it deserves its own slot. And that's what I'm basing on. And so it took me weeks, and I mean weeks, going through sets, looking at the different cards, choosing which one I want, basing it on the value that it's currently at. Because remember, I don't want to spend ridiculous amount on cardboard. We don't want to do that, considering that I kind of have to save up for the Team Rocket's Mewtwo, which is very stupid money. And you know it's stupid money. Also, with Ascended Heroes as well, with the Destined Rivals cards that are in Ascended Heroes, like I want a full Destined Rivals Master set that includes Destined Rival cards that are in Ascended Heroes. And let's be honest, the way Ascended Heroes is right now, it ain't looking good. Ascended Heroes got, I think, like 6 Destined Rivals cards, I think. Anyway, back to the spreadsheet. We have got Lapras. Lapras has Lapras Terrestrial form and a Gigantamax form. And then we have all the evolutions. Now, obviously, when it comes to the evolutions, once you want the terrestrial forms, that's Prismatic Evolutions, which is silly. And then obviously, if you want the Gigantamax forms, that's Evolving Skies, which is silly. So we'll be going basic cards on those. I did put in another rule when I was making this that I would have every single set represented in some way or form in this 1,292 card collection. That didn't go as planned. Because even though some of the older artwork is nice, there are just better versions of that Pokemon in later sets, especially with the introduction of illustration rares and special illustration rares. So again, what we want is the best artwork. We want the best full arts we can find for the budget price. There are some, when I was going through the lists and looking at the pictures of the cards, there are some absolutely stunning cards. What we got here? There we go. Shellos. There are 2 different kinds of Shellos. There are 2 different kinds of Gastrodon. So we have both versions. The West Sea, the East Sea, which I'm thinking was boy and girl, because one's blue, one's pink, I'm assuming. Garchomp. Garchomp is going to be very, very expensive in terms of Destiny Rivals. But here we have got... So what I've chosen the card of Mystery Treasures as the standard Garchomp, which was a nice holo. It's not a full art, because every full art of Garchomp is stupid money. And then we got the Garchomp Terrestrial, which is... It's up there in the barrier mark area, but we're going to go for it anyway. And then we have the XY promo for the Mega Garchomp for him. What was ridiculous is this. Look at this. All this White Flare. All this Black Bolt. That is mad. White Flare and Black Bolt, which came out last year, every single Pokemon in that series got an IR. So obviously that is getting a massive representation here in this set. Just look at it. There are some Black Bolt White Flares that Pokemon that I chose from different sets because I thought the artwork was just better, and also because of price wise. We got Darkness Ablaze, we got Chilling Rain in here, Lost Origin, Crown Zenith, not Crown Zenith. The Trainer Gallery in Crown Zenith was amazing. The same goes to Silver Tempest. I've missed a lot of these cards because I only got back into the scene, I want to say about a year and a half ago. So going back and actually looking over all of these past sets and all of this artwork has been fantastic. And it, like I said, it just gives me something to bite into. We got Lost Origin, we got Twilight Masquerade. Look at this. Look at Kyurem, for example. We got the standard Kyurem, White Kyurem, Black Kyurem, Kyurem Gigantamax here. So that's 4 different kinds. The Greninja. Now, luckily, the Mega Greninja got announced for the new ETB. I think it's called Chaos Rising. Just as I was finishing off this spreadsheet. So I was able to put Mega Greninja in. And this is where I Greninja. So I got the standard Greninja, Mega Greninja, Ash Greninja is also in here because I thought it was worthy of putting in there. Then we have the Terrestrial Greninja. Now, I'm not going to get the SIR for the Terrestrial Greninja because that is stupid money. Again, fantastic artwork, but ridiculous money. And we all know it. You know it and I know it. There are so many different Gigantamaxes, Terrestrials, Megas, especially with the new Megas coming out. Here we go. Necrozma, Ultra Necrozma, Necrozma Duskmane, Necrozma Dawnwings. I'm hoping this gives me the absolute bug for wanting to collect more. But so far, I'm very, very much wanting to buy into this. So this is how we're doing it. We're doing a spreadsheet, but also big shout out to Dex, which I've discovered not too long ago. Dex is a Pokemon collection app, which I am actually falling in love with. So let's go to my Dex. And here we have my folders. So not only did I do the spreadsheet, I discovered Dex after I was halfway through the spreadsheet, and I made a nice little folder here called Pokedex. So let's have a look. Ignore this 2.3%. That's a lie. I'll tell you what, that's a lie, because it takes into consideration the cards you have in other sets as well. So obviously I have some cards in Destined Rivals in the Pokedex folder that I've already got for Destined Rivals Master Set. So ignore it. But this look. Just look at all this artwork. Won't a Pokédex folder, like in person, look amazing with all of these artworks in it? This is fantastic. And I'm I want to see that shine. I just want to see that shine. I want to go through pages and pages of shine and just be amazed by this. Amazed. This is just, it just keeps on going. Here we are with the Evolutions Terrestrials, because, like I said, I can't avoid any IRs from that series, so we've just gone with the standard release. But it just keeps on going, and it keeps on going. And there's 1,292 of these. Now, when it comes to the commons, like I said in the spreadsheet, I haven't chosen what I want from the commons, because I could just pick up as and when. So the commons will probably be what I leave to last. Once I've got everything, like, oh, common run. Because by that point, hopefully, they might have got some IRs. We hope so anyway. But I love Dex. I think Dex is a fantastic, fantastic website and app. And if you wish to add me, please go ahead. My handle is... when it decides to load. At Robbie Rebel. Yeah. It's a thing. So please add me on Dex. I'm more than happy to add you. Not a problem. I'm very excited for this. Now, we will show you the folder. This is heavy. This binder holds 1,400 plus cards. Look at it. Look at this thing. It is ridiculous. Ridiculous. This is going to hold the entire Pokedex. Plus variations. I know. So not only am I recording it via spreadsheet, not only am I recording it via Dex, but also, as you know, it's a lot. It's a high number. So we had to get the placeholders. Look at that. Look at these placeholders. It took me forever cutting out these things, because I don't have a fancy cutter. I used a pair of scissors. Badly. And even then, the placeholders I bought for Etsy didn't even have every variation I was asking for. Didn't have terrestrials. So I had to fill in my own spaces as well. This is really bad, shoddy cutting, by the way. This took me forever to fill in. Absolutely forever. But now at least it'll be a lot easier for me to find things, which is what we want. We want to find it with ease. And I can't wait to start filling this up. I really can't wait. This is going to be fantastic to fill. Absolutely fantastic. Oh, where does he even end? There we go. There's the last page with 1,025 Pecharunt. Now, this holds 1,400 plus. There's only like 5 pages left in this entire binder. So depending on where we are come the end of the year in terms of new megas coming out in Mega Evolution, and also with Generation 10 coming around the corner, I might need a second binder, guys. I might need a second binder. Who knows? But I am very, very, very excited, people. Very excited to bite into this. Very much so. But I've actually started. I have started, and we have a little package here that has some cards in. So I did dive a little bit into Whatnot, which is very, very addictive, might I add. Very addictive, and I have bought a number of cards, actually really cheap, by the way, cheap cards. And I've gone through my personal collection of my trade binders to see if there's anything in there that I could add to it as well. And luckily, I was able to add some stuff. There's not a lot, but I was able to add some stuff. So we are going to show you what it is I got, and then we're going to add it to the binder. I know you're excited. So let's set up the camera to look at the table, and let's get going, shall we? We're adding our first Pokemon to the Pokedex folder. I'm so excited. Let's do this. Okay, we are back. And as you can see here, we have the wonderful Team Rocket's Moltres mat from the UPC. This is wonderful. So what we're going to do first, we're going to go through the cards I've picked up from my personal collection that I already had. Because, you know, why buy twice when you've already got them? Right? Makes sense. So, first off, we have got Cornerstone Mask Ogerpon. This is wonderful. When it comes to any form of commons, we're not going to do reverse holo because I think it's just a cop out in terms of a form of shine. So we're not going to do that. But we have Cornerstone Ogerpon. And then to go with that, we have the Wellspring Mask Ogerpon. And then I went through my White Flare and Black Bolt ETBs. Because I bought one of each when they were released last year, and I did have actually a number of IRs in there. So first off, we'll start with the box promos. So we have the box promo, which is Thunderous. That is wonderful. And there we have Tornadus. And then what we also got out of those boxes, we got a Zoroark. Now, I do love N's Zoroark from Ascended Heroes, but based on the fact that Ascended Heroes is stupid to get hold of, this was a wonderful, wonderful second decision. So we're going to go with this Zoroark, because this is wonderful. Then we got the Larvesta. This is lovely. I do like the colours of the sunset. And then we have the Heatmore, which, as we can tell, it's based on an Anteater. A fire Anteater. Who doesn't love an Anteater? Then I was going through some other stuff, and I did have an ETB for Chilling Rain. And in that box, I found a Rainbow Rare of Metagross VMAX. I mean, it's shiny, it's full art, it's a Rainbow Rare, and it's a Gigantamax. So we're going to go with it. Why not? Let's just go with it. Then I was going through, I can't remember what ETB this is. But this is a promo. But it is the Fluttermane ETB. So we're already at the higher end. What Pokedex entry is this? Is it going to tell me? I don't think it is because it's a full art. It's probably not. But again, good shine. Good art. And then I had bought a booster bundle of Phantasmal Flames. I was lucky enough to go through the Amazon invitation list, and I managed to pull this IR, which is an Ambipom. So, good so far. So, as we can see here, we have got 10 cards from the PC, which is going to go into the binder. Wonderful. Okay, next we are going to go from things that I have bought off of Whatnot. I think I've done really well here. Don't ask me how much they were, I can't remember. But we will get running totals on the screen, I think, when we put it in the binder. So, first off, we have got a Bomber Snow. This is from a trainer gallery. Don't ask me which one, I haven't got a clue. We have a Bomber Snow. This is lovely. I think this is either Crown Zenith or Silver Tempest. Not too sure. Then, to carry on with trainer gallery stuff, we have got the Smurgle. This is very good artwork. Liking the shine there. And then we have this Turtwig. Good shine. Yellow borders. Do I like them? Not too sure. I think it's because IRs, I think, just look way more clean. The yellow borders just aren't doing it for me, but it's still a wonderful card. Next, we do have some IRs. So next we have got the Palafin. He just looks menacing, doesn't he? Doesn't he just look a little bit crazy? Wouldn't want to meet him down in Dark Alley. No, you won't. And then next we have got the Spearow from Mega Evolutions. This is a wonderful card. Especially when there's a flock of them. A flock of Spearow. Now, Pharaohs, no shine. Actually, I think there's one shine. Which is crazy. So I'm hoping for an IR of Pharaoh at some point. You think maybe 151 would have done it, but no. Next, we have got Panpour from Black Bolt. This is wonderful. And Sandpage or Pansage and Simisage and all them have very similar artworks. And I can't wait to get that full set. And next, we have Sork. I don't know what that's supposed to mean, but he's definitely a karate man. Sork looks very good. Again, from White Flare. Great card. Next, we have got the Teal Mask Ogerpon from the ETB. This is the Pokemon Center stamp version. I don't know where I got this from, because I don't have the ETB. I don't have the ETB at all. So that's... Well, no, I got this from Whatnot. So, but the person who sold me this didn't know it was a Pokemon Center stamp. That's crazy. But hey, it's going in the folder. Next, we've got another ETB promo. I think it's an ETB promo. We have the Noctowl. This is a lovely card. The Noctowl is just in his home, in the tree, with a bunch of shiny stuff. Because he's a jewel seeker. That's the ability. So it says. His eyes are just mesmerizing. And then next, we have a Gigantamax. We have Greedent. We have Greedent Gigantamax. Because why not? Who doesn't like a giant squirrel? Lovely. Next, we have two of my favourite cards of all time. I love these cards. No, we'll just go with this. We got the Yanma. This is not one of my favourite cards. We have the Yanma for Destined Rivals. So, funny story about this Yanma. So, I did not have a Yanma for my Destined Rivals set. I bought one off a private seller for £6. A day later, I went onto Whatnot, and they do these box breaks where you get assigned a specific card, and if it pulls, you get them. I was drawn Yanma, and not only did I get another Yanma, I got two Yanmas. So now I have 3 Yanmas in my collection. So obviously one will be in my Destined Rivals folder, one will be in my Pokedex folder, and one will be for trade. Yeah, honestly, how does that happen? Next are 2 of my favourite cards of all time. These artworks are just stunning. Absolutely stunning. So one is one from Journey Together, and it is the Articuno. I adore this card. This card is just beautiful. Absolutely stunning. Yeah. Look at it. Just look at that. honestly, just the absolute shine on it. It's wonderful. Then it's this card. This card is, it beats the Articuno. I think it might be my favourite artwork of all time. It is the Meowth from Phantasmal Flames, but it is in the art style of the original Red and Blue games, and it is him in, I think it's Viridian City, because he's just outside of Viridian Town, Viridian City. You can see the Pokemon Center right there. And a house. Like in the style of the old Red and Blue games. Like, look at that. Look at that. That is fantastically wonderful. Like, I can't get over how gorgeous this artwork is, especially as a Gen 1 guy. This artwork is just wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. Yeah. So, and this is where we are with our Whatnot buys. So we had 10 cards there. We have 10, 11, 12, 13 cards here. A total of 23 cards for the Pokedex, which means we have a lot more to go. So let's clear this desk, get the folder out here, and let's put some cards in the folder, shall we? This is going to be wonderful. This is going to be fantastic. Okay, so here we are. We are at the Pokedex. Look at it. Look at it in all its beauty. Isn't it magnificent? I know you all agree with me. It's wonderful, and we're about to put our first card in it. And our first card is going to be Spearow. It is, so we're now going to take the place finder out and put Spearow in. Look at that, our first card in the Pokedex. Look at that, guys. We captured Spearow. And remember, Spearow was the first Pokemon that Ash came across on his journey. And we all know how that turned out, didn't we? Spearow's nasty. Nasty work. Fearow, by the way, has no shine. Next, we're over to possibly my favourite card so far. And it's going to be my favourite card for a very long time. It's going to be the Meowth. Next up, we have our first legendary Pokemon. And it is the Articuno. Let's get you in there. Oof, look at that. Look at that right there. And then we're moving on to Generation 2. Generation 2, we have our Noctowl. It's a lovely, lovely card. Then we have our second copy of the 3 that we have of Yanma, which is ridiculous. And then we have our first trainer gallery going in the binder with our Schmergle. Schmergle, Smergle, Schmeagle, Schmeagle, my precious. And next we go on. And we have our first Gigantamax of the series with our Metagross. And then on the very next page, we've got our Turtwig. Now here we have our Ambipom going in there. This is looking very bad. This is going to. A Abomasnow coming out at number 460. Here we are with Pampor. And we got Sork up here in the top corner. Next to Fro. So Fro and Sork. I don't know what that's supposed to be, I think. And then we have Zoroark down here in the bottom corner. Oh, Heatmore. Slink. And then we got Larvesta here on the very next page. Then we got Tornadus over here. Let's get you in on the same page. Look at that. Fantastic. And then we got Thundurus right next to him. Well, nearly. Tornadus is the only one with a Gigantamax form. Odd that. 3 on 1 page. This page is doing good. My favourite page so far. Then up here we have our first... Wait, is our first Gigantamax? Don't even know. I think it is. Our first Gigantamax with Greedent. We've got Palafin. To put in our Fluttermane. Next we have a triple hit. It's our Ogerpons. 3 out of 4. Actually 3 out of 8 because every one of them has a terrestrial as well. So we'll go with the Teal Mask first. Then we'll go for the Wellspring. And then we'll go for the Cornerstone. And there we are. That's where we are with the Pokedex binder. We have got a long, long journey ahead, people. But we will get there. We will get there because this is a journey. We are on a journey. Hey, it took Ash nearly... Was it 27 years? 27 years to become a Pokemon Master? It won't take me that long. I'd give up before it took me that long. But we're getting there. We're getting there. And we are going to have so much fun doing this along with everything else. We're going to have some hardships. We're going to have some expensive hardships. But like I said, I'm not doing 1,025. I'm doing 1,292. I think the count was. So yes, we have a good time. We have a good time. So next time you'll see me, it'll be at London Card Show this weekend, where we are going to actually continue this journey. And then also I'm at the Pokemon European Championships the following day, where we will continue the journey again, because I'm sure there'll be some vendors there as well. We've got a Pokemon Field weekend coming up. So let's get this video out. Thank you for watching. Thank you for sticking around for so long. This went on for much longer than I thought it'd do. But thank you. Thank you. And let's go catch them all, I guess. Yeah. I want to be the very best. And no one ever was.